Patience is waiting, not passively waiting, that is laziness. But to keep going when the going is hard and slow, that is patience.
In the fall of 1990, two of my best friends and I had a chance to go on what we felt would be a trip of a lifetime, backpacking across Europe for 2 months during the months of October and November. We'd worked at a summer camp together and saved up all our money to go on this great trip. Now, the first picture you see there is a picture of the three of us on the Eiffel Tower in Paris. I am the handsome young man in the middle. The other image is a picture of us at a pub in Salzburg, Austria. We were about 6 weeks into our trip and we decided to split off and go in our own directions and continue our journeys on our own. Now, the thing about this trip is that for me, this trip of a lifetime almost never happened.
The trip actually started out just fine. The plane was a little bit late in arriving in Amsterdam, and so we wanted to get into the city as quick as we could in order to book a hostel because it was getting later into the afternoon. I decided that I needed to get some money, so I stopped off at a kiosk so I could exchange some traveler's checks back 30 years ago when we used to use traveler's checks, and that's where things started to fall apart. I got my traveler's checks exchanged, and then we headed down to the platform to catch the train into Station Centraal in Amsterdam. And as we were about to board the train, that's when the problem started, because I realized that I left my knapsack back at the kiosk. So I quickly threw my backpack, my big 60-pound backpack, to one of my friends and said, "You guys jump on the train and I'll meet you in the central station on the next train in." So I threw them my backpack, they jumped on the train, I ran back to the kiosk, grabbed my knapsack, luckily it was still there, and ran into the train station. So now I have my backpack and I head back to the train station. Once I get onto the platform, I jump on the first train that arrives, and I go and sit down on a seat. Then I realize quickly something's wrong. I'm heading in the wrong direction. I'm heading to The Hague. I'm not heading to Amsterdam. So at the next station, I jump out of the train, jump onto a train, and head back to the airport station. By this time, I'm getting a bit nervous. I jump onto another train. Lo and behold, heading back to The Hague. So this is twice now that I've got on the wrong train. So by this time, I'm in full panic mode. I jump off the train, grab a train heading back to the airport, get off that train, and I ask someone. I say, "Can you help me find a train to get me into Station Centraal?" Someone helps me. I get on the right train, finally, and I head into Central Station. But of course, by this time, it's been almost 2 hours since I last saw my friends, and I'm in full panic mode. So I jump off the train, and I don't even wait on the platform. I go running out the main part of the Central Station. I don't know how many people have been to the Central Station in Amsterdam, but it's huge. It's like Union Station. And I look around for my friends. It's getting late. It's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I can't see them anywhere. So I'm freaking out. So I do the only thing that I know, think about what I can do at the time. I head off from the station with my knapsack, not much else, and I head to the local tourist store. So now I'm running out of options. So pretty much the only thing left for me to do is to go to the local tourist information site and book myself a hostel before it gets really late. Now I was able to book a hostel that was only about 10 minutes away from the station, which was fantastic, and I met a really nice young man who helped me out, who was already booked in there, and he walked with me to the hostel. I booked myself in, grabbed some dinner, and I settled down for the night. And I gotta admit, I am freaking out right now. All I have my money, which is great. I have my plane ticket. I have my passport. But I don't have much else. I have a Walkman with a mixtape my girlfriend gave me. Remember, this is 1990. And I have a pair of boxers that she gave me as a joke as I got on the plane. That's it. Not much else. And I have to tell you, a lot of things went through my head. Do I fly back to Vancouver and give up on the whole trip? Because I don't know how I'm going to find my friends in Amsterdam. Finally, after a very fitful night's sleep, I had to get a few hours, but didn't sleep very well. I got up the next morning and I had a plan. I decided to walk back to Station Centraal and I'd wait. I think I got to the central station at about 9 a.m. and that's what I did. It was a beautiful day outside, which was great, and I stood around and I waited in this big plaza just outside the station. And I waited. 9:30 rolled around. 10, 10:30, 11. I said to myself, if they don't show up by noon, I'm heading to the airport and I'm flying home. At about 11:30, all of a sudden I hear it as I was kind of wandering around, pacing up and down the plaza. I hear my name, Craig! I turn around, it's my friend Dale. He comes charging up to me, gives me a big bear hug, says, Craig, I thought you were dead. And we were reunited, which was fantastic. And we were able to book ourselves into a hostel together and start on our great adventure.
Now you may be wondering why I told that story. Well, the truth is, there are times in our life where we're stuck. We're in a dilemma. We don't know the way forward. And sometimes the best response that we can give to those situations is to wait. And it's not waiting with a sense of hopelessness or despair. You keep doing what you can, but you wait and you hope for an opening, a possibility, a way forward. I think right now that's the situation we're in now. We're waiting. There are some people who want us to push towards a certain direction, reopen the economy, start getting things going again. Maybe that's the right way forward, maybe it isn't. I don't know. But I do know that sometimes the best thing that we can do is wait and see where we are being led and see what the best decision is to find a way forward. And one final thing about that story is sometimes when we're waiting and we feel all alone, we forget that there are people that are there for us. So in my case, my friends Dale and Aaron, they actually waited at that platform until about 10 o'clock at night, waiting for me to show up. They were actually concerned about me. They literally thought I was dead or something bad had happened to me. But they waited till 10 o'clock at night, and they finally booked a hostel in behind the train station. Not the nicest hostel, I might add. And then they did the same thing I did. They got up the next day and went around looking for me. So even though I felt alone, I wasn't. They were there for me. And even though many people might feel a bit alone right now with what's going on, we're not. We have friends, we have family, we have community, we have God, we have our faith. There's so many ways in which we are not alone. So what do we do now? My feeling is we wait. But we don't wait with a sense of dread or a sense of hopelessness. We wait with a hope that whatever happens and whatever the future may hold, it'll make us better, stronger, more resilient, and a better community going forward.
You ask a certain question again and again in a sincere fashion, and the answer appears. But in my experience, at least, the answer arrives according to its own mysterious, celestial timing, and often in disguise. And it comes in a way you're not prepared for, or don't want, and can't at first accept.